people, good morning. What's going on? Welcome back to United View. Welcome to another morning view. Happy Tuesday, man. Hope you guys are doing well. Make sure, as always, you guys know the housekeeping rules here on United View. You guys have created them. Smash a like on the way in, man. Straight away. Get the first 100 likes under our feet. And also subscribe to the channel if you are new. Subscribe to OWEN Wrestling News 36555 if you haven't. Subscribe to the Football Flex if you haven't. And subscribe, obviously, to everyone's channels is there. KG Reckless Sports, Minute Football is there, Muppeteers, etc., etc. Everyone who's involved in the channel and comes on, show love to everybody's channels. Make sure you guys do that. And more likes, UV fam, says Jade. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on, wait a minute. There's Jade.
Wait a minute.
And
okay.
More likes, UV fam. It just popped up quickly. And Steph, as always, big up Flex and Owen. Absolutely sweltering in the UK, gents. Morning also says Avi. Yeah, it's set to be a nice warm.
Oh,
yeah,
set
well, yeah, set to be. I mean,
it's not for me.
It's quite warm yesterday. I mean, for you, really, bloody hell! I did say this to you the other day. I was like, up north, I don't know what's down here, mate. It's been nice. It's been nice, bro.
It was nice yesterday. No, actually, it wasn't here. It was very grey, actually.
Oh, see, blue skies, warm, sun out all day. I think on like Thursday, I think it's gonna be like 29.
Yeah, I think it's meant to be, hot here. But I mean, I'll tell you exactly what it's meant to be today. We'll go again, highs of 18 today. That's not bad.
Hold on, wait a minute. Can you hear me? Wait a minute.
I can hear you.
Highs of 18.
Highs of 18, and that's the same for tomorrow as well. Highs of 18. That's the hottest it's going to be all week.
18. Yeah, where you are is a bit different. Yeah. But sun is shining. Yes, shout out Bob Marley. Sun shining down south, man. It's going to be like 29. So, yeah, enjoy. Get ready for some nice weather, obviously, with a big week. This morning's a big show as well because, as usual, I mean, we do joke about the Paul Merson. The Paul Merson.
I worry for him, Jeff.
I worry for him.
I worry for him.
I do. Honestly, I worry for him. Yeah, I worry for him. You know, we've seen it play out before. We have a laugh about it here on the channel, but Paul Scholes has basically done it. He said it. So we're going to talk about Paul Scholes' comments regarding the potential transfer of Matheus Cunha from Wolves to Man United. And I want us to talk about the transfers in general, about the quantity versus quality, quality versus quantity. I want to talk about the types of players we should be going for. I saw Peter Crouch on Rio's show talking about the likes of Victor Osimhen versus the lap, the experience versus the potential, etc., etc. What should we be going for? So there's loads to talk about, and of course, there's the lead up to the game on Thursday, and some stuff. It still won't go away. It still will not go away. I've just seen it from somebody in Germany, Christopher Michael or Christopher Michel. I'm going to say, just randomly says Man United are looking closely at Victor Gyökeres, but will likely have to win Europa League to have a realistic chance of signing him. Arsenal and Chelsea are also very interested. Gyökeres wants to play Champions League for all. There's some stuff about Marcus Rashford as well, about Villa in the talks on whether to recall the injured Marcus Rashford. There's little bits going on, but let's focus on the crux of what we're doing today, and that is Paul Scholes. What did he say, Owen?
Yes, Paul Scholes. I saw in the chat earlier on people saying grumpy Scholes. Scholes can be pretty blunt with his punditry and getting pretty grumpy. And he's not necessarily said he's against the signing of Matheus Cunha, but he's worried for him, Jeff. Now, this is what he said. He did a piece with TNT. He said, Matheus Cunha is obviously athletic and he's got quality with 15 league goals this season. I just worry for any signing coming to Manchester United at the minute. It just feels like it's such a bad place to go. The quality of play right now is so poor. So effectively, he's sort of saying, I suppose what a few people have said here on the channel recently is not necessarily against the signing of Cunha per se, because he's a good player this season. He's got a lot of goals, a lot of assists in the Premier League, but he's almost like it's sort of shadow advice to Cunha, as if to say, it's not really the best place to go at the moment. Like, as we said, I think you said last night, didn't talk about ruining managers and players. It's a graveyard. That's effectively what he's saying, isn't it? Going, it's a bit of a graveyard to go there. Many a good player have gone to United and failed. Many good managers have gone to United and failed. But then that's when you get into territory of, well, shut the channel down then, isn't it? Because
shut the club down.
then what's the point? Because if we're basically going, anyone who goes to United is going to fail. And it's like, well, no point, really. Is it? I mean,
delete the club.
Yeah, that's what
I feel. And Stephanie says it there. Scholes is just stating the obvious about United culture. I think. Listen, I don't think it's something to jump on Scholesy for. Like, you see, it can never be positive. This, that, and the other. Because listen, like amongst us in the fan base, I see why we're like this. Yeah. I see why we're really skeptical, and I have this argument with loads of neutrals when I'm defending us, right? So, on my day-to-days, talking to friends and colleagues and whatnot, I'm saying, oh, we're interested in, so-and-so. Actually, I had it happen with Cunha. Yeah, but, mate, who goes to you and does good? Mate, why would he want to go to Delap? He could choose between Chelsea or why do you want to go United? No, why does anyone want to go United? And then it's like, so we actually can't buy anything. We can't try and get out of this situation. Like, how do we, what is a player, what is a transfer that could happen where everybody who speaks about Man United will go, yeah, that's good. That's good. He'll make them better. Without the context of, yeah, but you just know what, mate, they go there, have a good reputation, and like they end up crap. Like Man United ruined them, or like, so I actually understand this, the speaking out of both sides of our mouth, because we are so scarred, whether it's, Scholes, who obviously is a United fan, but, a legend, whether it's ourselves, as fans week in, week out, day in, day out. We are so scarred and scared of like, when will we ever be good again? We don't want to get behind any signing 100%. And the people that can refresh it and reset that clock sort of every summer, they find it easier. They're sort of stuck in a place of like, God's sake, I'm trying to be positive here. What's wrong with saying the guy's good? He's got 2 seasons in the Premier League. He's scored a lorry load of goals. He's athletic. He's powerful. He's got passion. We can see the qualities there. And that's just it there, Oba. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. And that's why I'm not really onto anyone's neck of like, don't be overly negative, or why are you being so positive? You have to pick a lane. You could be in the middle if you want, kind of where I am. I'm like, yeah, I understand that Mateus Cunha.
Like a motorway, isn't it? Like a motorway.
Exactly. You're either in the overtaking, you're in the slow, or you're in the driving lane, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you have to be in one of them if you're going to be on the motorway, or you can't go on.
If you're driving, got to be in one of them.
And I take it as the analogy as all of us fans, we're on a motorway called the Man United. We have, because we by love and by force, and we won't change the motorway. So I feel like it's people's own prerogative to pick one. It might be really difficult for you because you're always going to see the negative, and you're going to live in that until we're good. So you're always going to be vexed at everyone we buy. What's the point in him? Hey, what's the point in getting Florian Wirtz? Or what's the point in bringing Eze? Or what's the point in getting Frimpong? What's the point? You just do that for everything. Or you could be super, super positive and set yourself up for massive falls all the time. I tell you what, we get Delap, definitely get top 6, easy with his goals. I tell you what, we get Cunha straight away. Ruben's cooking. The league don't know what's ready. They're not ready for us. Do you know what I mean? So either way, you're going to struggle.
Yeah, like I said, it's... to be fair, I do get it, because I myself have felt that point with signings and that recently, especially when you see how we are playing on a weekly basis and we're not playing very well. And obviously, look, we're 14th in the league, and we're talking about, okay, what we're going to do for next season. And I think we've had the discussion of, yeah, but you've got a couple of players in that team. Like, there's so much work to do, and eventually then you do start to feel a bit indifferent to it all, don't you? Where you sort of go, we're linked to this person. You go, well, it'll make a difference. Or we're linked to this person. Yeah, we'll make a difference. But then, like, you can't just give up. You can't just give up. You got to try. You got to try. You got to, Man United have got to try and bring players in. They've got to try. They've got games to play. So you just got to hope, haven't you? Hope that it gets better. So it's almost trying to overcome that kind of defeatist mentality. And then there are, to be fair, like you said, others that are like, no, get a couple of players in, that'll make a difference, and just get to the end of the season. It's been a bad season, but when you start things afresh, and you've got a pre-season going, and yeah, that's something. That's something to go on to. So I think for the general Scholes grumpiness, look, Paul Scholes, in terms of his punditry career, has said some pretty wild shit, hasn't it? And some stuff that's just like not even necessarily true. His stuff about De Ligt, when he's like, he never used to play for Bayern Munich, and he was getting benched all the time for Eric Dyer. And you go, well, that's not really true. It's not really, like it's muted,
Adam
really
McCullough pushed back on that the other day, didn't he?
Yeah,
On the overlap.
yeah.
I think he said, remember when you said he wasn't that good, and he goes, actually been all right, isn't he? And Scholes was still a bit non-committed. It was like, has he done all right? Yeah, but
Yeah. So I think that's also why I think when people get their backups too, because in the past, and we've seen it with players we haven't even signed at the moment. Like a narrative does get built. This is with Cunha. It's like the pre-narrative is that he's got a bad discipline record and he walks, and in which you go, that's not really true. And yes, the walking stats are there, but he's also scored these goals. And you sort of go, it feels like they're just trying to plant seeds in our head for when we eventually get angry in about 6 months' time, and we go, oh look, see, he's walking around, and it's like, oh, okay. So, or like with Liam Delap, the narrative already is, wow, they got relegated Ipswich and he's young, so you're just buying an inexperienced one. And so in 6 months' time, if he has a bit of a difficult start, see, told you he's young, told you he's Ipswich level. So there is absolutely something in the fact that, we know this, how the media covers Manchester United transfers versus other transfers of other clubs is totally different. And then I suppose that it's up to you whether you want to buy into that or not, really. But I do get what he's saying when he's sort of going, I worry for anyone basically that comes to United, because why wouldn't you? Well, I'm sure agents are saying the same thing.
Yeah, exactly that. Do you want to go there? Do maybe not? Think about it for now. What's best for you? These are all natural questions. Sativa Breeder, big up to you. Says Wolves fan here, no doubt in Cunha's ability or the fact he loves United. My only concern is how will he cope when he's not the top dog at a club? If you guys can manage his temperament, excuse me, you're buying a gem. And Lil Yo-Yo said, good point. Is he a team player? And look, again, there are, like we said, there's been a lot of talk about his temperament. There's been a lot of talk about his temper, his attitude, etc., etc. And you got to make your mind up off of what we've seen as neutrals, looking in at Wolves. And listen, I saw all Wolves fans on their feet clapping him off the pitch. I watched most of that game against Leicester, just on Cunha Watch, just wanted to see what he was on. And he was obviously brilliant. Leicester is shit. But, all the fans, when they do the cut scenes to the fans when the players walking off the pitch, they're all standing up, happy, smiling. No, there didn't seem to be any sort of, the match-going fans is where you really find out what's really going on. There didn't seem to be any animosity there. But I do agree with that. I'm not naive enough to think that, there still has to be some conversation with him or some taming of that, or you're at United now, and I know you like to post freely on social media, but here's how it works here, this, that, and the other. So it's a different beast. So these are all things that, like you say, we talk about accountability. The people that are deciding to bring Matheus Cunha in, if he arrives, the potential transfer. We know Ruben is co-signing him, project number one. Then Ruben's got to have these conversations. It's on him. You got to tame this player. You got to make him aware of the standards in your squad. He's made other players aware of the standards, and they ain't played when they don't meet it. So, 62.5 million signing in the summer or not, he has to abide by the rules. Do you know what I mean? It's no different to the Rashford. A lot of money. No different to the Rashford situation or the Garnacho situation, and maybe others that we don't know about or whatever happened behind the scenes. The same with, Omar Barada and these guys. They have to make it clear that, he's got to fall in line. So I'm not naive to think that, but I just think I do get some skepticism of like who we sign. I get it because we're so bad.
Because we've signed some of the best players in the world. I mean, we signed arguably re-signed what arguably the greatest player ever in Ronaldo, and that didn't work out. So after that point, it's like, can any transfer ever work out? I mean, our hit rate is so low, isn't it? With since Sir Alex, the one signing that could be argued has worked out is Bruno Fernandes, and even that is a hot topic of debate amongst fans. So obviously, there's naturally going to be skepticism, I think, towards any signing. Like you said, there are going to be things about Cunha if we do sign him that, if you're going back at because I think it was Talking Wolves, so they've been on the channel before. That if you're going back at fan channels, There's quite a few Man United ones, mate. So
Yeah.
or you go back at accounts on social media. There's quite a few on social media that are Man United accounts. So that might not be the best behavior. So, but then, like you said, that's then on United in the case of you've got to have those conversations with him, going, look, obviously we really like you as a player. We think you're really good. That's why we're buying. That's why we're spending money on you. But importantly, those sort of flare up, shall we say, in the past, they just can't happen here. And the scrutiny is on another level here. Like, look at yesterday's show. Yesterday's show was about Rasmus Højlund in a social media post about saying, I needed that. And that was the topic of conversation for 24 hours, going out of order. These players, you saw James last night on the red carpet, get the phones away from these players. That's just about something that was not even that bad, let alone going back at someone.
He was going mad.
So, so you would hope those conversations would be had, by people at United.
They have to be. We got a couple of hundred likes, and we're at over 950 people watching live now. So 200 likes under our belt. Let's keep pushing on that, people. Let's get to that magic 350. Aaron Prophet also says, Cantona, let me get up on the screen. Cantona had a supposed bad attitude, and listen, he had a temper. He had a temper, but it's a very thin line, isn't it, between bad attitude and bad temper. Bad attitude to me leans more towards your application as a pro, don't care about the team, selfish. As a bad attitude. A bad temper is like, rub me up the wrong way and my fuse is short, I could blow.
It's about personalities, isn't it, as well? Because like if you listen to anyone that played with Eric Cantona, particularly United, they will openly say like Sir Alex treated him with like kid gloves on. So to the point like he would scream at players going, don't get a yellow card, don't do this, don't do that. And then Cantona would go out there and do that. And then you go, well done, Eric. You know what I mean? Or
just got to treat man differently.
Or people would have to, you've got to show up to training dressed right, I've show up in a tracksuit or whatever. Cantona show up in, shorts, flip-flops, whatever. And he's going, morning, Eric, kind of thing. Because Sir Alex, and this is where man management comes in, that's how to get the best out of him, right?
Yeah,
and
that don't really work now.
He's delivering at the weekend, and I know that actually the best way to manage him is to treat him differently to other people. And if other people don't like that, tough shit, because he's delivering at the weekend kind of thing.
Yeah. And most players fall in line with that because they go, listen, just get the ball to Eric, it'll be all right, man. Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? But that's good management. That's good management, isn't it? So there is, like I said, there's a fine line, but it is also like a case-by-case basis sometimes. If they're delivering so much and that's how to get the best out of them and they're delivering consistently, you can't really argue with that, can you?
Well, look at Slot yesterday when Salah said, I had discussions with him and I said, if you let me basically don't track back, I'll score loads of goals. Essentially was basically what Mo Salah was saying. And this is a new gaffer coming in to Liverpool after Klopp. And obviously, the greatness of Mo Salah and what he can do. He's just listened and gone, So the other players in the team, again, they all know Salah's gonna deliver the goods. So people like Szoboszlai or Gravenberch said, I'll do the running for him, boss. We'll make it work because we don't expect him to bust his ass to get back as soon as he loses it and counter pressed. This is not his thing. But then if you play for Arteta, Saka will work just as hard going backwards as he does going forward. You know what I mean? But then Lionel Messi, can't tell him nothing. Nothing. Everybody run for me. Argentina, you see you, Rodrigo de Paul, you see you, Alexis McAllister, and Alvarez, run for me. Cover everything in there. Because when I have the ball at my feet, watch what I do. Same with Ronaldo. There are certain players, any top pro will tell you, there are certain players, and you do have to be levels, though. You do have to be levels. Well, that doesn't really exist in this United team and around now.
No.
Even, you know what I mean? It doesn't happen like that.
That's why with the Ronaldo situation at United with Eric Ten Hag, that's why it didn't work out because, Eric was very much, you got to do your running, got to do your tracking back, you got to be working off the ball. And if Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't want to do it, then he almost has earned the right to be like, well, I'm not going to fucking do it.
100%.
So, you know what I mean? I'll do what I want.
What do you mean press? What do you mean press at football? What are you talking about?
I'll
Work out a way
goals.
for us to have the ball and get it to me. You mean run around?
At that time, he got like 800 career goals, mate. And I think I know what I'm doing.
Pressing.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. So, and both sides of the argument are right, really, aren't they? Because it's like, you know, from a coaching point of view, you got to do what's best for the team, help the team. And if my teams are like everyone presses together, goes together, but then someone like him is going to be like, you know, well, I've done everything in my career. I've got it down. I know what I need to do for myself and what the team needs to do for me.
And you should be playing to my strengths.
Exactly. And then this is where sort of the disconnect comes, isn't it? Because when you have, say, for instance, an example like Rashford, people will point to that and go, yeah, but Rashford's not Ronaldo, though. So he should be running. You know what I mean? You can't,
100%.
like you said, that's when the talent gets into it. And
Only
you go,
goes
that's
so
where
far.
the levels go in, isn't it?
So to apply it to Mateus Cunha, which is kind of what we was talking about, that's why it's Ruben's job to make sure he falls into whatever line he needs to fall into, because we don't have that luxury here. Most teams in the Premier League don't have that, you know, and depending on the manager's outlook, like I said, Saka is way up there as one of the best players in the league, if not the second best right wing or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Top 5 attackers in the league, whatever. Yeah. But his manager, the way he plays is like opposite sides, Martinelli and Saka, you better run your backsides off. I don't care. There's no egos in here. This is just what we do in and out of possession. Like I said, whereas Liverpool play like that, there's not really Haaland's not expected to flip in, do mad running, pressing, drop off the front, come link play, do this. Yeah. You stay there, and in our pomp, we'll get the ball to you through De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva and Gundogan and all these players who are in their prime, and you just put the ball in the back of the net. I'm not asking you to do no other stuff, pressing people and all of this stuff. There's only certain guys who can get away with that. It's as simple as that. So Ruben has to make sure that he falls into line, and we'll see from there. Steve Lyon's grandmother says, I honestly don't know what's wrong at United. Players can find form at other clubs, and the managers' CVs have been decent. It's just what happens when you come here, isn't it?
Pressure.
The pressure,
Pressure.
It's a different thing. It's a different thing.
That's why LVG was right when it came to. He advised Eric Ten Hag, "Don't go there, mate. Don't go there, mate." You know,
you're so right, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Don't go there, mate. Commercial club.
That thing that KG was saying yesterday, when he was like, Ruben's been here for 6 months, 7 months. How long has he been here? When did he come?
November. November.
What, the beginning?
Beginning of November was his
November, December, January, February, March, April. So 6 months. It's basically May now. Yeah. 6 months he's been here. And his reputation is on the floor. His stocks are on the floor. He is, I'll put in inverted quotes, he is a fraud. He is AVB. He is, United have done it again. It's just the Portuguese league.
Scammer him,
Ruben scammer him. What's the other one about not being there that long? Ruben interim, all of this stuff. So there's like in 6 months, he was I'm so glad we covered it as intense as we did. Well, we did the same with Eric actually, so we're used to this. But Ruben Villas-Boas, exactly. But I remember doing it twice, but this time a bit more because I'm doing a bit more broadcasting than I was when Eric came. So spending time doing some shows where I'm talking to Portuguese journalists, specialists, I'm talking to, people who've played in Portugal, talk about this, that. Some real people who are in the know, athletic. We're reading more pieces about what Zamrin really like. I think her name's Charlotte. Can't remember her last name. She spent some time. I did an interview with her. She spent some time with Ruben's family. What's he like? All of this great stuff. He does this. He does that. He changes his players around. He develops players. The 3-4-3. 6 months later, it's all on the floor. Car crash settings. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's this guy? 60. How many games has he lost? 11 in the league.
Well, 6 wins. It's 6 wins. It's 6 wins in 23, something like that. 22, 23, I think.
6 wins. And it just shows you. So when you're saying, I don't know what's wrong with this club or whatever, it just shows you like how quickly everything changed. Which is why, and again, it's kind of, I know we're coming away from that, but actually, this is why when Scott Scholes does have a point, it's like, we're saying how good this guy actually is. Strong, powerful, can travel with the ball, double figures goals. He's everything we need in a 10. Everything we need in a 10. But guess what? He can come here and just be an absolute.
Well, in 3 months' time, 6 months' time, the perception could be very, very different. But I suppose the other way of looking at it, like we said, and this is the dangling the carrot kind of thing, is look, if you come to United and you can be a success, that fan base will love you for it. You know what I mean? You will be an icon because, you know, we just don't have it. Now, you could argue, people point to like the only successful transfer, i.e. Bruno, and yes, he's the captain and lots of people like him, but lots of people don't like him. But maybe that's because we're still in the mud phase, aren't we? We're 14th in the league. I mean, I saw someone say in a comment last night after the red carpet show that it was something like, I'm paraphrasing here, but it was like, last season, and you said it wasn't about just results, it was about performances. This season, you're saying it's just about results, not performances. And I was thinking to myself, but we're not looking good. Like, that'd be one thing if we were going through games at the moment and you would go, I tell you what, we look really, really, really good, but we're just not winning games. You can't say that at the moment. Like, it's just, obviously we can have the debate once again. We've had a million times recently about if there have been improvements and which games and been better and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I'm not coming out of these games that we haven't won going to tell you what, we've been absolutely battered them there. We've absolutely smashed them. And we had all of these chances, we just didn't score. On paper, yes, you can look at the shots on target, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, we're 14th. And also, it's not like, I know like Marcel will go, I love this football, beautiful football. I'm not saying that, you know what I mean? I'm not going, it's amazing.
We're nearly there.
Football.
Sprinkle the right players in the right positions. We're nearly there.
And as Ruben has said himself, you know, you've got to win games. You know what I mean? You got to win football matches still. And last season, yes, obviously we were scamming games under Erik ten Hag, and it wasn't sustainable. I totally understand that. Totally understand that. But yeah, I think to compare the two and say, last season you were just about results, not no, you said about style, and this season style, and you just want results and not style. Why does there have to be one or the other? That's the other part of it too. Why are we? You can't get one, you can't get two. You can't. You can either you can get results and not play well, or you can play well and not get results. Apparently, the two cannot come together. That to me doesn't make any sense.
You need two to be a good team for a sustained period. Because if you play poorly but get results, that will only last so long. They'll only last so long. Like, I know, exactly. Liverpool won the title, so it means they're the best team. Doesn't matter how they did it. You can't win a title unless you're super consistent. You're a good team. It's as simple as that. But you can, do a right for a middle period of the season where you pick up a load of wins playing crap, and that means you're still in the hunt for top six, or But to get to where you really want to get to, which is winning the league, you can't do it unless both of those things are good. When have you seen a team win the league and you go, they don't have any good performances, they just get results?
And also this is the other part of it. So when people were saying, about I don't necessarily care about the results, I want to just see performances, they weren't thinking about us being 14th.
No,
they weren't.
No,
they were.
No way.
When people were talking about, I don't necessarily care too much about results, it's performances. All right, I think people were going, all right, well, if we were in 8th or we were in 7th or 6th or something like that, it's not where we want to be, but but
you can see progression.
But the performances are there. No one was saying 14th, 15th.
But this is why Arteta survived. This is why there's different things. When we used to be, you've got to be careful. We talk about Arteta and stuff. 8th, and then this, that, and the other. There was a point that you don't go below. That's the problem. If you're at a point, listen, 8th is terrible for a top 6 team. You shouldn't be finishing there. It's bad. But even last year, and I know it was wrong, so that shows that it's still on the line. But even last year, we finished 8th, but we won an FA Cup. So God, okay, right. Wasn't good in the league this year, and we finished 3rd the year before. So again, you go, there's a bit of work there. We'll go again in the summer, show us something. And by the time we got to October, we went with 13th, mate.
Yeah,
you got to get out.
And that's simply my point. Like Manny should say, that's true. I think most people, I would be stunned if the people were like, no, I meant we could be 14th, 15th as long as we're playing better. Because and also this
nobody mentioned that.
You're not in 14th, 15th by playing good performances. You're just
no.
So
Yeah. Yeah, because you're just unlucky because you're just not getting that goal here or there. No,
you
not
know what I
14.
mean?
Not
14. You don't get like to go, oh, just a bit unlucky that you go. Well, no, that's pretty consistently. You've not been good enough, And so I would get that if because and this is, to be fair, this was the same as it was under Eric, where there are going to be statistics and stats that will back up what you're trying to say or stuff to disprove it. I.e., lots of people have been talking about XG at the moment, haven't they? Lots of people have been talking about XG and saying, well, look, if we're just more clinical, we're going to win more games, get results. A bit like at the weekend, say against Bournemouth. There was the one that was cut back to Bruno. He missed it. He scuffed it. I think that was offside in the end, wasn't it? It was offside. People point to that and go, oh, look at missed chances. And you go, oh, okay, maybe that gets us a few more points, fair. But would those extra points be enough to be in, let's say, the top 6? Or because we're talking about, again, we're not even on 40 points at the moment.
Yeah.
No, we're not even looking at top half. So
not being
a
on
couple
40
more points,
right?
A couple of points here and there.
It's crazy because you're talking to be like top 7, top 7 Villa on what 57. You're talking like over 10 points. Like there's a big gap to be able to get there. Do you know what I'm saying? We're not, like you said, we're not even on 40 points. If we were on 40 points, we'd need 17 more points just to get to Villa. Just to get to Villa in 7th, which is so we're 17 points off having around the same season as last year, where we're like 7th, 8th. That's crap, man. Do you know what I mean? We're 17 points off that.
And this
18 points off
season
that.
is unusual as well, it must be said, because usually, you talk about getting to 40 points, and that might get you just above the relegation zone, which is where we are. Sometimes when teams have gone down with like 40 points or more.
Yeah,
obviously West Ham 42 went down with 42 points. So this season we know that actually towards the bottom, how many games are there left to play in the Premier League? Was it like 4, something like that?
5,
3. And all the teams are relegated officially right now.
Yeah, it's done.
Like the gap's that big. So
4 games.
Had this been another season, and we've seen them go down to the last day before a couple of teams getting relegated, let alone all 3 being done 4 games left.
Yeah.
So this is a bit of a unique season when it comes to how much points it takes to actually keep you in the league. So yeah, that's just my concern. So like the thing with the XG stuff, it's a legitimate arguing point. Absolutely, it's a legitimate point. But there are also other points that are just as valid, i.e. the most important one, we're 14th. We've got minus goal difference,
14th is so wild.
We haven't got 40 points.
I hear it. Like I know like it's I know we're here now, we know it, but like 14th is just scary. It is. Like it really, really is. It really is. Just a quick one for you guys. I've put it in the chat there. Don't miss Flex's show on FanFest at 10 a.m. because straight after this, I'm going to be hopping over to FanFest, the new platform that rewards your loyalty just by engaging, just by doing what you love already. The link is there in the chat, so click that to head over to there and join the community. I'll be there for about half an hour, just for a bit of an extension on this Paul Scholes stuff, transfers in general, and anything else in between. Quick, short, sharp, half an hour. I'd love some of your support. Come join me over there. If we can get 10 or so people over there, to get some people over there, I'll be really appreciative if you've got some spare time in the morning to come over and join me on there, man. So that'll be sick. Can you pin it? Yes, I can do that. Let me do that right now. Hold on, wait a minute. There you go. Pin. There you go. Replace pinned. It is now pinned at the top there. So yes, go and join that. I'll be there at 10 o'clock. Amrim, here we go. Super Arch says, Amrim in. We still haven't seen a full game of his ideology yet. We have seen short of it. 5 minutes so far. Lack of intensity and runners is a difference. Red Baron says, why do Liverpool legends always praise Liverpool, even through the shit times, and our legends just shit on us? I don't know. Maybe our legends just keep it real and don't bury their head in the sand and just say how bad it really is. But then it does go a bit extra there because they do sometimes go too counterproductive. And Ivor Clip says, if it's really pressure, then how do you explain big players like Zlatan, Casemiro, Ronaldo, Pogba, Di Maria, Sanchez, etc., come in here and drop in? Well, it's
I think
about
it's maybe
it's
not just pressure. Yeah, you
the
can't, like
teams
with
they're
all
in.
of these things. It's not, and again, this maybe we do ourselves a bit of a disservice because I think if you always just boil it down to one thing, so we say it's just pressure. That's why not succeed. Then it's oversimplification, isn't it? As we said with loads of these things, it's lots of different things. Yes, it's the pressure, but also it's the environment, the structure, the owners. Sometimes whether it's been the right coach with the wrong players or the wrong coach with the right players. There's lots of things. It's just a badly run club because they should get all of that in check.
Yeah, exactly. And Eminem has been a member for 11 months. Shout out to you. Eminem says, most fans would backhammer him if we lost games but smash performances, but we've not seen that at all. Can point to XG, but context is necessary. That's it. Context is everything. It's the hardest thing to apply in football, it seems, across all the discussion points because we all feel so passionate about whatever topic it is. So sometimes you ignore context. Sometimes you apply context too much to try and justify your point. It's about trying to find that middle phase. Just on a wider thing then of
one more super chat as well.
Oh, one just came in. Missed it. My bad. Super Arch Red Baron. Oh, there you go. Marcel is a lot calmer when seeing it from a bird's eye view. No offense, but I think you guys can be a bit more emotional. I understand it. Listen, absolutely. I think Marcel has the ability just in life. That's, that unique ability to be able to take a step back, remain completely calm and see a bigger picture. He did exactly the same for Eric Ten Hag, where, we went out with Marcel. Marcel come out with us to Amsterdam to, see the title parade, the title winning game. And he said, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Eric Ten Hag will win the Champions League at Man United. He will win the Premier League at Man United.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, he was said winning the Champions League of Manchester United to Eric's dying days as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know we can, to be fair, no offense taken, Red Baron, 100%. But 100% Red Baron. But I don't know, sometimes Marcel, the house is burning down and everything's fine, and he'll be like, it's okay. It's okay. The fire service will be here any minute now.
Yeah.
They'll come with water flex. They will put this out. Yeah, I get that, Marcel. But
last season, well, that's it. After the first game last season, we will not lose at Old Trafford this season. I'm telling you, we will not lose at Old Trafford this season. So, it's like with anything, isn't it? That's what's being a fan's about, isn't it? And it's all about how you support your team or how you view football. There'll be people like Marcel who will just be in the face of overwhelming adversity. It'll be fine, and sometimes it will. You go, there you go. It's gonna be fine. There are others that'll be like, holy shit, I'm gonna get burnt alive, and you go, maybe a bit of an overreaction. You know what I mean? And then there's people in between. It's just who you are. It's what your makeup is, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Jason, that's it. The fire will stop eventually.
Yeah,
Fleck, this is a simple scientific matter, Fleck. As long as there's this much oxygen, the fire can stay alive. But as the day goes on, Fleck, the oxygen levels will decrease and this fire will stop. It will stop, Fleck. So I'm not worried.
The world will keep on turning. It is a globe and it will keep spinning on its axis every day. The sun will rise, the sun will set. And you go, all right.
Yeah. And, I don't believe in time, but...
Marcel's which game was it recently? Well, when we'll lose a game, and you go, Marcel, that's not what you wanted to see today. And you go, no, it's exactly what I wanted to see today. This is perfect. This is perfect. And then the reason you'll say it's perfectly good because this exposes. This helps us in this moment. And then, to be honest, that's just looking on the positive side of every situation, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That's how you can. And
it's probably a better way to go through life, if I'm honest with you. There's certain situations happen to me. Just in life, I don't stress too much about some things because it's true. It's a worse experience in life. Life is hard enough as it is. So if you ask Marcel, is he happy in his thought process and in his life? And he'd say, yeah, 100%. I don't understand why you guys are all waking up on a Monday, on a Tuesday, it'd be fine. It's an easier way to live. So I respect it. I do. Yeah. I really, really do. We have got all the super chats out, yes, and members chats. I was going to talk about transfers on a wider spectrum, right? In terms of what we should be doing, like what the policy should be. I know we've kind of seen Ineos make it very clear, really, really clear that
really clear.
we have to, younger players, get the wage bill down, different profile, like James says, the 10 Dorgus, etc., etc. But what is the quality versus quantity argument, in terms of bodies that we need to make this team good versus the quality versus how ready they are to deliver and how long we should be waiting and the mix of experience versus potential?
Well, we spoke about this yesterday a little bit, didn't we? Because we all said about getting players in, and if they're all starters, who improves the team, but who would that be, and which players are going to be sticking around as well. And I think it depends on each position, doesn't it? Really, because I've said, for instance, with the goalkeeper, just get anyone. Just get anyone.
But is that right, Owen? Though I have to push back on this one for you. You're saying just get anyone,
yeah.
But that's like, isn't that dangerous? Because that's like saying the De Gea thing, how bad it got when he was doing what he was doing, and we was like, listen, we just changed goalkeeper. And we talk about the pressure here, and we say that the number one at Man United is the most scrutinized position in English football. We say,
yes,
and you're saying just get anyone, don't matter who it is.
Yeah.
I don't think that we should do that. Just get anyone. Can't just get anyone. Can't get even Melier from Leeds. He's shit.
Who's a worse goalkeeper in the Premier League than Andre Onana? Sanchez at Chelsea.
Yeah,
but like it's kind of.
So you say go get Sanchez if Chelsea want to get rid of him? I'll take him.
I'm saying is that because the concern is about money. But someone said Kepa in there. Kepa's had 2 really good games against us. To be honest,
can't get anyone, man. Can't get anyone.
At this point,
to deal with Vicarios. Everyone, yeah, exactly.
At this point, yeah. Even if that's what I'm saying. Even if you went and got a goalkeeper he's out of contract, or he's 5 million, or he's 10 million, he's not even that good. But it'd be better. Like we're saying, play Tom Heaton. He's going to retire at the end of the season.
Yeah, but that's playing him to now, just in the. But when you got the chance to go,
but we'd be saying it next season. We'd be, but this is my thing. I'm not even saying necessarily to fix the problem. I'm saying I know that we've got other things and money's tight or whatever. For that position, I'm happy for patchwork. I'm happy.
So if you're going to get anyone, is it not better to just keep him and then fix the rest of the team?
No,
if you're going to get anyone,
I'm happy for patchwork. I'm happy for someone that will go, look, he's not great, but he's okay. We'll address that next season or the season after.
So are you saying any? No. So I think to rephrase it, are you saying just get anyone that is better than Onana, as long as they're
which is near enough anyone? Which is near enough anyone.
Okay. I just think you got, like you say, to like we just got to be careful when you drop that one. We just got to be careful with that, because we all started cussing as soon as we got rid of David De Gea, because remember those games, West Ham, Watford, all these mad mistakes.
But at least we can go. It's like the Bayern one, right? If you play Bayern and he makes a mistake or a goal goes in, you go, well, I'm not really expecting that much from him anyway, because he's not that good. I know he's shit. But that's Andre Onana. That's Andre Onana. But Andre Onana. But he's like, he's shit. He's on a big wage. He cost us, how much was it? 48 million quid or something like that. And you go, oh. And ultimately, I just want someone that can save some shots, Flex.
Of course, I agree with that.
Like that goal we conceded at the weekend. If maybe earlier on in the sort of Onana Man United career, we'd probably scrutinise that a bit and go, should he maybe be doing a little bit better on that? Maybe. Now we're just used to it. We didn't even really talk about it that much. Whereas actually, it wasn't that much in the corner, was it? It was at his near post, but it was enough pace on it. And Onana did the sort of diving in stages kind of thing. You just go,
yeah, it just looked like he wouldn't have got there anyway.
I'm not even really going to scrutinise it. And as people pointed out, this is what James said last night on the red carpet, and it is true. We are conceding less shots, than we were last season when we were conceding 25 plus. But still, all you've got to do is get one shot on target and it'll go in. Like,
okay. All right, okay. I just thought I'd ask a question.
Even if leave free agent goalkeepers, or get a loan, whatever. Have a look.
Okay. All right. So just get anyone. Get anyone.
Yeah.
Leo Lewis says, I'll take Dean Henderson back. Okay, so the keeper is get anyone. But the general consensus before we wrap up, the general consensus of transfers? Do you think like striker non-negotiable? They've got to be good now. Don't get any young projects. Like I saw Rio said that Højlund needs help, not competition. And I was like, Rio, he needs to just leave, not get competition. But that's not going to help Rasmus if you bring in someone the same age as him and make him compete against him. It's not going to make him any better, is it? You need someone he can learn from. You need someone who can handle the burden. Goal scorer, don't buckle on. Get experience.
It depends, doesn't it? It depends, because the thing is with goal scoring, it is a bit of there are very few people, very few, that are guaranteed goals. And that's why they're so expensive. That idea of like they're guaranteed goals, there's only a couple, I think. We've seen, people like, remember when Shevchenko came to Chelsea from AC Milan? He was like, he's gonna guarantee goals. Didn't work out. Big players sometimes come to clubs that doesn't work out. There's only a few, like people like, say, Harry Kane, where you go, look, where he's proved it now. He moved to Bayern Munich, scores goals. That's all he does, score goals. Like the people that have been scoring goals, in Haaland, he's guaranteed goals, guaranteed goals. But even like, Salah, when he came to Liverpool, he wasn't guaranteed goals.
No.
It wasn't guaranteed. They weren't guaranteed like, oh, it's going to work out, and then, then it does. So, I think with most strikers, you're always taking somewhat of a gamble, somewhat of a risk. And maybe
hardest thing to do in football, isn't it? Score goals.
And maybe that's why, there is this concern about like an Osimhen, where it's actually like he wants a lot of money, and what if it didn't work out, kind of thing. Like we'd be stuck with him, and like, what do we do that?
What do we do?
Even this is how mad it is with the Gyökeres stuff, right? Obviously because he's had a great goal scoring season this season, and his stats are unbelievable, but there is still this like, is that going to stop though? Is that going to, you know what I mean? If we get
his numbers are unquestionable as a striker, but it's true, he hasn't done it here. But then Liam Delap, you go, he's had one season.
Yeah, exactly.
Ipswich is not a different pressure. He's not playing in Europe. He's not competing on multiple fronts. So, there's always a conversation or a narrative to flip for just if you haven't seen them do it here. And then the one that's bigger than any one of them, which we spoke about at the top of the show, is Man United, though, man.
Yeah.
It's just here. He's done it here. He's the right age. He's got a good track record. Then you go, Man United.
And then that's what people say about even like the Mateta one, where we're saying, look, he's doing it in the Premier League consistently. But people go, yeah, but Man United, it's one thing to do at Palace. And like we said with Cunha, be big fish, small pond. Go to Man United, pressure. It's different.
There's no in between bit of like, yeah, but are you really going to win the league with Mateta? So it's like you want us to jump from 14th to the striker that will win us the league, and that's where the in between bit is hard. Where you say buy from within the league to get better incrementally, and then you can attract top players. Because if it's unrealistic for us to be able to attract the players that could compete with 1 and 2 in the Premier League. We'd have to do something from within to generate that.
And people, but then like I said with Osimhen, they'll go, yeah, but Victor Osimhen, he's scoring so many goals. Napoli won Serie A. They hadn't done that in years or whatever, So
is that good? He's playing in Turkey.
But then
attitude.
Well, and then people go, yeah, but goal scoring in Serie A versus goal scoring in Premier League is different, isn't it? You know what I mean? Different. Has it always worked out that way? And that's the thing with with transfers in general, everyone's a gamble. There is no such thing as a sure thing. And then when it comes to strikers, definitely, it's always a gamble. The amount of times we've seen some player, we see it quite a lot in recent years, don't you? Well, like, even your mid-table clubs go, okay, they've signed so-and-so from the Bundesliga, from Serie A for 40 million. You go, I've never heard of him. And then either they score shitloads of goals or they score 0 and they're gone in like 6 months. You go, oh, wow, about that new striker you got.
It's like Evan Nilsson. It's like Strand Larsen versus Haller or
Fulkrug
and stuff like that. And he done really well. Darwin Núñez. There's so many exactly that, and then there's examples of bloody hell, they've done well, and now they're the hottest property. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they got Swansea. They got Michu from Spain. First season, couldn't stop scoring. Never heard of him. I never heard of him again afterwards. You know what I mean?
Papi Cisse. There you go.
Papi Cisse,
So
yeah.
it happens. It does happen. Guys, good effort today. Good show. Well done, people. We did get over 350 likes. I think we can get to 400 on the way out. There was over 1,200 of you watching this morning, which is brilliant. Everyone getting involved in the chat. It is pinned right there. I'm going to head over to FanFest right now. Join me there in a few minutes' time. Please do. It's easy to join. It's free to join. And get involved. There's so much on offer over there at FanFest. Smash a like on this video. Subscribe to everyone's channels if you are new. Tonight on the Football Flex, we will be obviously going live. For Arsenal's first leg semi-final against PSG at the Emirates tonight. I've predicted an Arsenal 3-1 win first leg.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, yesterday on DR, just thinking of it. And the more I'm thinking about this thing, Arsenal are going to get to the final, man. It's starting to get really, I'm really uncomfortable. Yeah, I just think they've just got this blitz in them at the moment at the Emirates. But I'd be very close in Parc de France though. But the Prince, but PSG, like you said, though, I was with Stuart, Parisian London yesterday. Came on DR. I said, Stuart, please, I need Mendes to lock Saka. I need Dembele. I need it, bro. But Arsenal will lose both legs. PSG are winning. PSG, allez. PSG must do the Lord's work. But
we'll see.
I don't know, man. There's something about this Arsenal side. We will see tonight. But join us. We'll be there just before.
You'll be redirected there already. The stream's already up. You'll be redirected there when this stream ends.
Exactly. Take care, people. We'll see you this evening. Peace.